Greetings, fellow adventurers! I'm Max with Peak D&D.
And I'm Ben. Welcome to the Peak.
We're here in the Rocky Mountains helping you elevate your game in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and life.
Now this week's episode is high-level content for people who already know and love DVD. What? And for people who already know and love the Love DVD. This week's episode is high-level content for people who already know and love the D&D and wouldn't mind adding a +1 bonus to their lives.
If that's you, great. Roll some initiative and let's get to it.
Saving throws, Scourge of Spellcasters.
Saving throws, the best reason to keep a paladin close by.
Now I'm guessing if you're watching this, you
What the f? Can't believe it. You. I don't this mistress. What the shit? Hasn't anyone ever told you it's rude to sneak up on a unicorn in its grove while it's enjoying its favorite podcast? Come to think of it, that's not even supposed to be possible. Who are you? Why are you here? What business do you have with Saint Gumdrop, Lollipop, Snugglyface, Tiny Pants? What? Yes, of course I have every right to use that title. I am a lawful good divine being, for Cuthbert's sake. I couldn't lie about that if I wanted to. What? No. Quite easy, really. I simply submitted the appropriate number of topics to Ignorant and Uninformed, and one day, a totally legit and valid certificate of sainthood magically appeared in my grove. Now be gone! Jeff was just starting to talk about how much he loves Omega!
You've got a good handle on what they are.
But what if I told you what you don't know about saving throws is the most important thing about them?
Crazy, right? I mean, but hold tight, because Max and I are going to let you in on a little secret that could change your life forever.
Sweet, no pressure, thanks. Before we get there, let's start this journey off from the same point.
Now, in Dungeons & Dragons, saving throws are like a defense mechanism. They're a roll you get to make as a way of protecting yourself from some type of harm.
You spellcasters out there know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Chances are, unless you had to roll to hit, whoever's on the receiving end of your spell gets a save.
When the enemies make them, it sucks. But whenever you make them, it's great.
There was much rejoicing.
In 5e, each ability score has a saving throw associated with it. There are Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma saves.
Some of these are more common than others, Dex being the most, probably, Charisma the least.
These defense mechanisms, or saving throws, are triggered whenever you're in the presence of a certain type of danger. The type of danger equals the type of save.
Your DM might force you to make a strength save when you've got to resist or exert a massive force, or else.
If you're trying to hang on to a cliff for dear life, or stop that REO speeding wagon,
or maybe stand strong after being Mannheim steamrolled by said REO speeding wagon.
Or trying to catch or hold something heavy metal instead of it crushing you.
These are all examples of when you might have to make a strength save.
The bane of all evokers and fireballs, dexterity saves are for getting out of the way.
Dodging area of effects, maintaining your balance and not falling, quintessential dex save scenarios.
Constitution saves usually come about when you've got to try to resist some nasty physical effect.
Like being turned into a statue. Or a popsicle.
Avoiding the worst of cockatrices, cones of cold, and white dragon breaths are all con saves.
As are your immuno and metabolic responses.
Resisting diseases and poisons trigger con saves, so mummy rot or the spins after a hangover both constitute constitution saves.
Next up, intelligence saves. These aren't as common as many of the others.
As of yet, there isn't a ton of stuff in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons that directly attacks your mind.
And almost all of it that does actually has the word mind in the title. Feeble mind, mind flares, intellect devourers. Close enough.
Disbelieving illusions and what your senses might be telling you, like with hallucinatory terrain, are another trigger.
Now, wisdom saves, on the other hand, there are tons of those in Dungeons & Dragons.
These have to do with overcoming impulses and feelings.
Remember that white dragon from the Constitution save example? To even have a chance to become that popsicle, you'd first have to make a wisdom save against her fear aura.
All those pesky creatures and villains who try to charm you, perhaps fey creatures, spark saving throws against your wisdom score.
If something is drawing you closer like a charm spell or pushing you away like a fear effect, it's an attack on your wisdom.
Last of the bunch is the charisma save.
I mean, like we said at the beginning, also probably the rarest, charisma saves really only come about in the face of banishment.
Literally. It's the save used in the spell Banishment, which forces an extraplanar creature back from whence it came.
It's also the save for when nefarious necromancers try to bauble bound your soul and take over your body, aka magic jar.
So, 6 types of saves, each a protective roll triggered by a specific type of harm you're trying to mitigate or avoid altogether. Nothing terribly earth-shattering here yet, right?
Nah. Until you begin to map the concepts we just outlined onto real life.
And that is where the magic happens. That's how you get that +1 bonus to your real-life saving throws, by thinking in terms of saving throws.
Look, I take failure super hard. Whether it's being fired from a job, or rejected by a woman I'm attracted to, or not getting that job in the first place, these things hurt a lot.
But, and I don't want to step on any toes here, so correct me if I'm wrong, framing things in terms of saving throws has helped you with those things?
Dude, so much. I mean, in D&D, saves are failed all the time. Every session. They're a part of the game. They suck, but rarely are they really game-changing in the long run.
So framing the things that don't go your way in real life as failing a saving throw takes the edge off a little.
If y'all are anything like me, failing can often feel like life or death, but you know, I've failed plenty and still here, recording with you.
And here, this is where Dungeons & Dragons and real life run parallel. Failing a save in D&D usually leads to a crappy or annoying, but temporary status effect.
And the same is true with life. Very rare are the true life and death saves.
Now that Max and I have introduced the concept, we're going to show you what we mean with some examples, starting with strength.
Times in day-to-day life when you need to resist a physical force or else experience harm.
Oh, me all the damn time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, my day job, I install and build theatrical sets, and not a day goes by when I'm not trying to move or lift something, bend some bars, lift some gates.
Okay, yeah, all right. So apply the concept. Give our fellow adventurers a taste.
So anytime I successfully hoist some lumber, a sheet of plywood into the truck, or move a set of stairs by myself, and I don't end up tweaking that is me making my strength save.
Okay, and when you fail?
I guess that's when I hurt myself. If depending on the DC of what I'm trying to move, how much I fail by, that's how long it takes me to heal, and how many aspirin I'm about to pop.
All right. Dex saves. For me, I usually think about these in terms of catching either something or myself.
Yourself?
Yeah, man, like, say walking across an icy parking lot, which is something, you know, we do for like 8 months a year.
So we're ostensibly pretty good at it. But keeping your balance is an example of a dex save. Face plants would equal a failed save.
Every time I accidentally knock something off a counter or drop something and catch it.
And the flowers are still standing.
Okay. Made my dex save.
Now, I think of dex saves when it comes to pouring something and not spilling it everywhere.
All right. Successfully moving through a crowd is another place.
And my life, in particular, is full of con saves these days.
Oh, you don't say. Been,
Oh, I wish. No. Hashtag dad life. Anytime I'm changing the baby's diaper and it is just truly abyssal in there, I'm like, that's a con save.
Okay, yeah, no doubt, man. Gag reflexes, being able to keep something down, total con saves. I tried some Rocky Mountain oysters once. Yeah, chewy. Drinking, taking that shot, your tolerance, if you're hungover the next day, how bad that hangover hurts and how long it lasts if you are.
I feel like every 5 years or so, the DC on a hangover check has to go up by like 5, and the duration of the effect at least doubles.
Okay, intelligence saves real life. These for me are have to do with memory. Like when I get to the grocery store and I realize I forgot my list at home. Failed intelligence save.
Okay, so like bar trivia. When you know the answer, but you just can't think of it.
Yeah. Or if you recognize a person but you can't think of their name. Other than that, though, I can't really think of many times I'm in danger from mental assault.
No? Really? I mean, I can. I feel like I'm always making, mostly failing intelligence saves.
Wait, seriously? You hanging out with a bunch of mind flayers?
Now, but remember, in D&D you have to make intelligence saves when you're trying to separate what's real and what's fake.
Oh.
So, every time I see or hear some ridiculous story on the news or a fact that's being presented as real when you know it's probably not real, or a conspiracy theory, I tend to think about making my intelligence save to figure out what might be true.
Oh wow, yeah, reading through social media, scientific literacy, careful critical thinking, these all sound intelligence-y.
Wisdom saves have to do with self-control, timing, and common sense. I think about them when I encounter situations that are going to test my willpower.
Ah, good old will saves.
We miss you. Recently, I had to have a conversation with my boss about money. We work in theater, so budgets are a little tight.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was all geared up to go talk to him, but the first thing I heard when I stepped into the office was him in a rather heated conversation on the phone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, not in a great mood. And as much as I wanted to have that conversation that day, I knew it wasn't going to go well if I did. So I rolled my wisdom save, and I made it, and I decided to wait.
You wanted to have the conversation, but you didn't because you recognized that talking to your boss about needing more money when he was in a bad mood wasn't going to go well.
Willpower, timing, and common sense.
I think wisdom saves when overcoming, or not, fear. Stepping onto a stage, trying something new, skiing something steep, approaching an attractive stranger.
Resisting fear. That's straight from around the game table. Anything else?
Yeah, high-pressured sales.
Wait, what?
Think about it, man. Those are situations when the person you're talking to is really trying to get you to do something.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah, they're talking real fast, using fancy words you might not understand.
Save versus confusion.
All in order to get you to do what they want.
Save versus charm.
Now, last but not least, well, maybe least, real-life charisma saves.
This one really is kind of tough. Yeah. I mean, banishment isn't something I contend with on the day-to-day.
I mean, not me either. But if we flipped it, maybe that counts as standing up for yourself and not being swept away.
Ooh, I like that. All right, so standing up to peer pressure would be making your charisma save.
Say you're in a group of friends or acquaintances, co-workers, someone makes an off-color remark or joke. Saying something or not would be a charisma save.
I like it. A performer in a hostile crowd. A comedian being heckled off a stage. An athlete absolutely owning an away game.
That's about all I got for charisma saves. I can't really think of a time when I've been in a life-altering existential battle for my soul.
Ooh.
Have you?
Actually, you know, I'm a psychonaut of sorts, and I may have failed a charisma save or two that has sent me tumbling off the razor's edge out into the abyss once or twice.
Damn, dude.
Cost of exploration, my friend. On to lighter things. We're going to give some real-life examples to really make these stick. First, your friend's obnoxious partner.
So when I was in college, one of my roommates dated a girl for a while that all of his friends couldn't stand.
Yeah, been there.
Now, she didn't treat him very well. She didn't treat us very well. She didn't treat anybody really well. She was just mean. None of us understood what he saw in her.
All right, what'd you do?
Now, I'm not proud to say, but we took the low road. We did everything we could to make her as uncomfortable and unwelcome as possible in our group. But she stuck around and took it like a champ.
Wow, okay. So, using saving throws, this situation reads like your buddy failed a wisdom save against charm, and the girlfriend made her charisma save to stick around.
Now, how about an awkward family dinner with your conspiracy theory spewing uncle?
Yeah, and let's say whoever's hosting that dinner made a dish that is absolutely awful. Like, it's so salty, you taste it and you just scrunch up.
Oh, perfect. Yes. So here it's going to be an intelligence save to dispel the illusion of your kooky uncle's conspiracy theory web, and a constitution save to keep that bite down of that whatever is in that casserole and keep going with the conversation.
I like it. I like it. All right. Can you think of a real life example that uses all 6 saves?
Moving a couch up the stairs.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you were on that. Break it down.
Okay, strength save. Obviously, can you lift it without hurting yourself?
Dexterity. For the person who's going backwards up the stairs to keep their footing, and maybe for everyone to not smash fingers.
Intelligence. Measuring the couch and the door. Make sure it can even fit in the room to begin with, and the maneuvers you need to get it up the stairs.
Wisdom?
To not blow up at your buddy who inevitably scratches the wall or drops the couch.
Okay. Charisma then, for the person who does those things to tough it out and stick around knowing how upset you are at them.
And Constitution to see how much you can all eat and drink before you pass out on your new couch.
Hey, thanks for sticking around and hanging out with us today.
Hopefully we piqued your interest.
And gave you that +1.
Let us know about some of your funniest real-life failed saves down in the comments below.
If there's a topic you want us to cover, cast sending.
There's an email link in the description below.
If you like what we're doing here, roll to hit that subscribe button. Each one of you who does brings our channel closer to leveling up.
Make sure to drop the warnings around that notification bell so you don't get skipped and miss your turn on our next video.
Check back here every Wednesday and Saturday for more Dungeons & Dragons content.
And support the channel by casting Big B's thumbs up and liking this video. That works too. Until then, keep on climbing, adventurers.
And we'll catch you next time up here at the Peak.
It sound right, boy.